UFC 329 McGregor versus Holloway 2 picks and prediction video. Now, with the main event, we have Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. This is probably going to sound like everyone else's breakdown, but as a pick, you have to pick Max Holloway to win here. Right, like as a pick, you have to pick Max Holloway here, and as a bet, if you bet on Conor McGregor early knockout, that makes absolutely sense. Now, a few things I want to make clear is Max Holloway is not a 170er. Max Holloway is not a 155er. I know he fights at 155 right now, and he had a successful fight against Justin Gaethje, even though there was some compromising moments in that fight. Realistically, Max Holloway is a 145er. Max Holloway is a 145er with no power. He's a boxer with no power. And not only that, but everyone likes to say Max Holloway has the best chin, but that really just means that Max Holloway gets hit a lot. And it's catching up to him. Max Holloway was dropped in his last fight. If I remember, his last fight was Max Holloway was wobbled by Charles Oliveira. I know majority of the fight was on the ground, but for the few exchanges that it was on the feet, if you look closely, I think it was in the last round, Charles Oliveira wobbled him. Dustin Poirier dropped him. Ilia Topuria hurt, wobbled, and dropped and KO'd Max. And then Justin Gaethje also, either hurt him or dropped him, if I remember correctly. So in his last 4 fights, he's been hurt or dropped or finished. Now, Conor McGregor, his only chance here, Conor McGregor only has about a round or a round and a half of cardio. I don't care what anyone says. If he didn't gas on the previous fights, I understand. But coming off of a 5-year layoff, only training 3-4 months, he's going to have good cardio, but only for a round and a half. Now, it's likely that Conor McGregor is going to hurt Max Holloway, maybe even in round 1. But all Max has to do, and it's a very easy game plan. If I was Max Holloway, I would waste time. Round 1 and round 2, I would let McGregor kick me. I would let him jab me. I would let him hit me from a distance, out of the range of the left hand, and tire him out. When he gets close, clinch him, wrestle on the cage, run around, leg kick him, let him kick you, slow down McGregor, and then you have the easiest win of your life. If Max Holloway exchanges in the first round, let me put it like this. The only chance Conor McGregor has to win this fight is if he gets a quick knockout in a round and a half. It's not likely. Now, that's why my pick is Max Holloway, but don't get me wrong. I think Max Holloway wins, but I'm not going to go here and be like, oh my god, minus 200. Because at the end of the day, if Conor McGregor does gas out and Max Holloway does knock him out via cardio, it's going to be like, oh my god, Max Holloway minus 200 was the easiest bet of all time. I should have put 10K on him. And you're absolutely right. It's just, there's so much around this fight that I cannot risk, right? If you've been on my Twitter, you saw I put $1,000 on Conor McGregor at plus 300, so $1,000 to return 4,000. And how I'm playing this is because I have Conor at plus 300 for 4K. If Conor could just win the round 1, which it's possible, right? I think it's actually very possible. Max takes round 1 off. Conor McGregor wins round 1. There's a chance that Conor McGregor might flip to a favorite, a minus 110, minus 125 favorite after winning round 1 because of how close the odds have got. And then I could hedge and put 2K on Max. So this way, if Max wins, I make 1,000. And if Conor wins, I make 1,000. That's how I'm playing this, right? Or if Conor doesn't, land cleanly on Max in round 1 and we see him slowing down, then I could live bet the shit out of Max at even better odds, right? But in reality, if Max goes in there and knocks out Conor in round 3, 4, 5 via cardio, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, I should have put 10K on Max, because no, there's too much around this fight. How is Conor McGregor going to come back? Because again, this is just a strictly boxing fight, right? And Conor is the better boxer. He's a cleaner boxer. He hits harder. He has a better head movement. But at the end of the day, it's like if he doesn't knock out Max Holloway, the cardio is going to prevail. And Max Holloway will overrun Conor, and Conor's probably going to give up, right? To survive 5 rounds with Max with not decent cardio, it's not likely, right? So my pick is Max. I'm not betting on Max. My pick is Max, but I'm betting on Conor. Now, this is where things get interesting. I know it's a little lagged here, but BSD versus Paddy Pimblett. Now, I do want to start this off by saying that both of these fighters are horrible. Both of these fighters are horrible. They're not good fighters. They're not technical at all. They don't use IQ. They just brawl. Now, Paddy Pimblett's loss against Justin Gaethje, I loved because we saw a lot from Paddy. However, with BSD, I honestly think BSD is garbage. Well, don't get me wrong, Paddy Pimblett is also garbage, but BSD is like a level below garbage. I don't fucking know, but he's even more trash. Now, when you look at BSD, you know, don't get me wrong. One thing, BSD's chinny. Okay, and when he fought Dustin Poirier, he was a favorite. Dustin Poirier was like a plus 185, plus 200 underdog, and when I saw those odds come out, I was like, what the fuck? Why? Like, how the hell is BSD the favorite here? Because all Dustin has to do is knock his ass out. It's literally that simple. Because Dustin has a decent chin. Dustin has decent cardio. Dustin has this decent wrestling. And when they end up boxing, BSD is going to go to sleep. And that's exactly what happened. And so many people were high on BSD. What you have to understand is BSD is chinny. He does have cardio issues. And he has horrible takedowns. Now, don't get me wrong. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has good back control and back takes. But BSD is the same person who got reversed by Dan Hooker multiple times. BSD is the same person who got reversed by Mauricio Hoofy 2 times and was at bottom. Hoofy could have took top position or guard on BSD twice, but both times he stood up like a retard. BSD is the same person who got reversed by Moicano. BSD is the same person that couldn't hold down Dustin Poirier. So BSD, he's a good jiu-jitsu nerd, but he's not like great at control. If you wrestle him while he's trying to wrestle you, you could reverse him. The fact that Mauricio Hoofy reversed him twice and BSD was at bottom while Hoofy was on top of him, if that was Paddy Pimblett, if Paddy Pimblett is the better striker here. Okay, BSD does not have good striking. He puts his head down like a goat and starts swinging. Paddy Pimblett is the better striker. I know Paddy Pimblett is horrible at striking, but in this fight, he is the better striker. He hits harder. He's a better striker. He has more tools. If you look at Paddy Pimblett's previous fights, in his fights, when you try to take him down, he tries to knee you. He tries to throw an uppercut. And I think in one of his previous fights, he actually caught somebody with the knee. It didn't hurt them or knocked him out, but he did. Now, when you look at Paddy Pimblett, he is a decent striker. He hits hard. He hits heavy. He doesn't have knockout power, but he does hit heavy. He does have cardio. He doesn't give up. He's also a BJJ nerd. He has decent wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I do think BSD is going to take down Paddy Pimblett. I probably think he's probably going to control him for a little bit. But the fact that all these other fighters reversed BSD, I think Paddy Pimblett can too. One thing I don't like about Paddy Pimblett is the fact that he's so comfortable in his jiu-jitsu, he likes to pull guillotines. He likes to pull guard. He likes to, jumping triangles. I don't like that. Because why give BSD an advantage position when you don't have to? But at the end of the day, BSD does not have good takedowns, right? I'm telling you this. All Paddy Pimblett has to do is weather the storm. 2.5 to 4 minutes of wrestling. BSD's going to throw. He's going to wrestle. If Paddy Pimblett could reverse that, BSD takes him down again. He gets back up. Takes him down again. Gets back up. If Paddy Pimblett could outwork BSD, BSD will gas. And when BSD gets gassed, he literally moves forward with no defense. He gets hit a lot. Don't get me wrong, not a lot of people took advantage of that because he's been fighting retards like Kyle Popolek, Benil Dariush only landed 16 seconds, Dan Hooker who's retarded. Like nobody really took advantage of this. The only person that did was of course Dustin Poirier, because Dustin Poirier, for the amount of times that he jumped Gilly, he was also able to get up without giving up his back. He got gassed. He got clipped. Same thing here. Paddy Pimblett has good cardio. If Paddy Pimblett doesn't make a mistake, if Paddy Pimblett just doesn't get submitted, I promise you, BSD will gas, and then he's either going to put himself in a submission or he's going to get TKO'd, because Paddy Pimblett has phenomenal ground and pound. He has phenomenal top control. A lot of these fighters, when they get mount, they get reversed. Paddy Pimblett doesn't get reversed on mount. Paddy Pimblett is fucking strong, right? The fact that Moicano reversed him, took him down, and held on to mount for the entire round. The fact that he couldn't even get Moicano off of him, I'm telling you, if Paddy Pimblett could get on the same position that Moicano did on mount, or even in a wrestling scramble, he's gonna be the successor. He's gonna reverse him. He's gonna get on top. He's gonna either ground and pound to a victory, or he's gonna get the submission. Another thing that you have to understand is BSD, his skin is like paper. Every single fight that he doesn't finish early, his face looks mauled. It's not only the Moicano fights. So many of his fights, he's bloody, he's bruised, he's cut. And with Paddy Pimblett, you're telling me All these fighters reverse BSD. You're telling me Paddy Pimblett can't reverse him once and get on top? If Paddy Pimblett gets on top of BSD once, with enough time left, he will finish BSD. And if he doesn't, well, Paddy Pimblett will get up enough times to the point where BSD gets tired and he'll just knock him out or win via decision. I see Paddy winning. I hate Paddy Pimblett. I hate BSD. They're both trash. But in this fight, all Paddy Pimblett has to do is not get subbed, get back to his feet, and that's it. He looked decent against Chandler. Chandler would take him down. He would get back up. But the thing about that fight is you could tell Paddy Pimblett paced himself. There was times where Chandler was holding Paddy against the wall, against the fence, and Paddy wasn't doing anything. That wasn't because he couldn't get out of that position. It was because he wasn't wasting energy. He was saving his energy instead of, exploding to get out of the hugging on the wall, getting out of that clinch. He was holding. He would get up, hold, then he would get taken back down. He would get up, hold, and then he would get taken down until the point he reversed him, right? So Paddy Pimblett should win this fight. I don't like him, but at the end of the day, the only way he loses this fight is if he makes a mistake. It's that simple. Don't give your neck. Don't get subbed. And it's literally that simple because Paddy Pimblett, for how trash he is a decent grappler, he is a decent wrestler, and that's just the basics 101, right? At the highest level, you don't see too many, finishes when it comes to subs and stuff because everyone has pretty good sub defense and so forth. But I just hope that BSC does not get back position and backpacks Paddy Pimblett. I hope that Paddy's smart enough because Paddy's a big boy. He's very strong. He's a brute. I really think that he's going to reverse BSD and win the fight. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista. This is very simple. My pick is Corey Sandhagen. I honestly thought Corey Sandhagen would be a minus 250, minus 300 favorite. He's not. For good reason. I know a lot of people are high on Mario Bautista here. Don't get me wrong. Mario Bautista. This is the problem, right? When Mario Bautista fought Vinicius Oliveira, everyone was high on Vinicius Oliveira to the point where Mario Bautista went from a minus 200 favorite right before the fight to he was a minus 200 favorite a week before the fight, and by the time the fight started, he was a minus 120 favorite. That's how high everyone was on Vinicius Oliveira. Now all of a sudden, the same people are high on Mario Bautista in this fight, and I don't understand why. In that fight against Vinicius Oliveira, Mario Bautista was my lock of the week. I had thousands of dollars on Mario Bautista to win that fight, and also to win that fight by submission, which he did. Now, in this fight, it's a completely different fight. It's a 3-round fight, not a 5-round fight, and he's not fighting Vinicius Oliveira. One thing about Mario Bautista you have to understand is Mario Bautista, he's not really exceptional at one thing. He's a well-rounded MMA fighter, but he's pretty average. His wrestling is above average. It's decent. His scrambling is decent. His jiu-jitsu is decent. His striking is it's average, if not below average. Mario Bautista has very simple, basic boxing, right? He doesn't have good boxing. He doesn't have footwork, angles, feints. He doesn't have any of that. He's a very basic, traditional boxer. The 1-2s, 1-2-3, 3-2-3, uppercuts, low kicks. He doesn't have knockout power. He doesn't have submission powers. He's a very simple and basic fighter. And if you look at his recent competition, Vinicius Oliveira, he beat Vinicius Oliveira because Vinicius Oliveira, he went into that fight with I think it was a dislocated shoulder or a broken shoulder or something. And also Vinicius Oliveira, he had to cut too much weight and he gassed out in round 1. He lost against Umar. Everyone loses against Umar, and then he beats Patchy Mix. And it's crazy because Patchy Mix in that fight was a punching bag, and he barely even looked good. Like, Patchy Mix did nothing, and Mario Bautista barely looked good. Round 1, sure, he looked good because Patchy Mix did nothing, but then in round 2 and 3, Patchy Mix was landing on him, right? And it's crazy because the amount of punches Patchy Mix ate and still stood, he didn't even wobble Patchy Mix, he didn't hurt him, he did nothing like that. He literally ate all the punches in return, and he didn't clip Mario, but he was landing some decent punches, which is honestly absurd to me. He fought Jose Aldo. He fought a 50-year-old Jose Aldo, and he was so scared of the striking, a fight that which he actually lost. He was so scared of a 50-year-old man striking that he hugged him on the wall, right? And it's crazy because Jose Aldo, his striking now is completely different from his striking 10, 15 years ago. All he does now is literally just 1-2, kick, right hand, 2, hook, 2, singles with power. But again, Jose Aldo gasses in round 1. And to be fair, he did nothing in round 1, so he did gas in round 2. But honestly, Jose Aldo did win that fight. And what did Mario Bautista do? He just held him. He couldn't take him down. He couldn't control him. He just held him against the cage. And it's not that he held him against the cage. It's just that Jose Aldo knew that he has cardio issues. So if you actually rewatch that fight, you're gonna realize that Jose Aldo, when he would defend the takedowns, he didn't try to get out of off of the wall. He would actually just rest there. And Corey Sandhagen isn't gonna rest against the wall, especially in a 3 round fight. He's gonna explode and get out of there, right? And then prior to that, he had some trouble with Ricky Simon, Blackshear. Like, this is Mario. This is honestly Mario Batista's first decent fight. We're not gonna count Umar because Umar's a tricky customer. Out of his entire 13 fights in the UFC, whatever it is, 14. This is his first real fight, right? And Mario is an average fighter who's been fighting average level fighters. And then you go and you look at Corey Sandhagen, and you're like, holy shit, Corey Sandhagen, oh my god, he has 6 losses. But then you sit there and you look, wait, let me look at his losses real quick. A 2020 prime Aljo, a TJ Dillashaw, former champion, Aljo, former champion, Peter Yan, former and current champion, Umar, future champion, and Merab, former champion. Now, his losses against Merab and Umar we're not going to count just because as a striker, when you're fighting someone like Umar and Merab, well, we're going to separate these. When you fight someone like Umar, you know for a fact that if you open up or if you commit to anything, he's going to take you down and hold you. Same thing with Merab. If you overextend, you commit to any punch, any kick, he's going to take you down and then over and over again. And you don't want to put yourself in that position. So in those fights against Merab and Umar, if you rewatch it, he actually did very good. He did good because Umar could barely take him down. And when Umar would take him down, Corey Sandhagen would scramble or pop right back up. He wouldn't get controlled in that fight. I think he got controlled once or twice later on, but he barely got controlled in that fight. Corey Sandhagen's wrestling, scramble, grappling, his get back, like his get ups, very good. Very good. Merab had trouble with him. But again, Umar had trouble with him, and Umar still won because he can't throw. Like Corey wouldn't throw because he was so scared of the takedowns. And then with Merab, he defended so many takedowns from Merab's, and then it's like another one, another one, another one, and of course he ended up winning. But to be fair, Merab had trouble because Merab would take him down, he'd get back up, he would get back up, he would get back up. And prior to that, when he fought Peter Yan, you have to go back and watch that fight. Like, Peter Yan and Corey Sandhagen are the two best strikers in the division. And, Corey won an early round. He ended up getting caught with the spinning back fist, which doesn't really count because spinning shit and high kicks, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. He did very good in that fight. Like, sure, Peter Yan won, but Corey Sandhagen did round one, he did so good. And then slowly Peter Yan started to, download the data and, realize, how to beat Corey. It is what it is. But the fight against TJ, I know he lost a split decision. But he won that fight. I think TJ went 18 for 20 on his takedowns, and that striking was beautiful, right? The way he was striking TJ Dillashaw, he's the same fighter. It's just he's been fighting wrestlers, right? So Corey hasn't shown his striking in 3 years because he's been only facing wrestlers, right? And his striking against TJ Dillashaw, his striking against Song Yadong, Marlon Vera, it's beautiful. You can't hit him, and if you hit Corey, he's gonna hit you. Corey's footwork, his head movement, his stance switching, the angles that he hits you from, his striking is way too advanced for Mario Bautista. The only way Mario Bautista could win this fight is if he takes down and holds Corey Sandhagen. But we've seen that you can't, unless you're an exceptional wrestler like Umar and Merab, and even they couldn't do it, how is Mario Bautista going to do it? If Umar and Merab couldn't take down and hold down Corey, how is Mario Bautista going to do it? He's not going to be able to. So it's going to end up being a striking match, and when it comes to the striking department, Corey Sandhagen is levels beyond Mario Bautista. And even in an interview, Mario Bautista himself said, his weakness is the takedowns, so I'm gonna wrestle him and beat him at his weakness. But realistically, does he think he's a Merab or an Umar? He's nowhere close to them when it comes to wrestling. TJ's a pretty decent wrestler, and he reversed TJ so many times. He would clip him. Yadong is good. What did Yadong do? Yadong was aggressive. He cut him with those elbows. He's just too good. Corey's too good. Corey should win this fight. I don't know why everyone is high on Mario Bautista. All right, now Brandon Royval versus Loner Kavanagh. I don't really like this fight because when you look at this fight, look, okay, to me, Loner is. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Loner because I just think he's very he he has better than decent striking, but he's not like he doesn't have power, right? When you look at his record, he only has 4 knockouts. And I sit here and I watch his fights, and I'm like, fuck, like Loner, he's fast, he has clean striking, but that's it, right? Like Loner has good head movement, good in and outs, straight punches, but that's it. Like if he had a little bit of power, I would love him. But like you cannot be you can't have decent striking or like good striking and then not have knockout power and also not have wrestling and also not have submission threats. You can't just be a good striker. It's not going to get you far, right? And that's what Loner is. He's a good striker with no power. His wrestling defense is good, but he's not a threat when it comes to wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So like to me, he's gonna be like one of those guys who's always in the top 10, right? Like I don't think he's gonna touch a championship. I don't. I know everyone thinks Lona's gonna be the next future champion. I just personally don't see it. He has no power. He's not a tricky customer. You know exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna throw you 1-2 kick, head kick, right hand kick, hooks, kicks. Like he's gonna step back 1-2. He's gonna try countering you, but he doesn't have a chin. I mean, sorry, he doesn't have knockout power. Now he could very clearly win this fight, right? If this was a 5 round fight, I promise you, the odds would not be what it is right now because right now Loner is a minus 220 favorite. If this was a 5 round fight, it would be even odds. And don't get me wrong, in this fight, he should beat Brandon Royval just because Brandon Royval has a very beatable style, right? Like Brandon Royval in a 3 round fight, he's a very beatable guy because Brandon Royval, he doesn't fight with IQ. He doesn't fight with a game plan. He just goes in there and he just throws the fuck down and he puts himself in positions to get clipped, to get dropped, to lose. Like the fight against Joshua Van, he won round two, he won round one, he lost round two. He was winning round one. He was winning round one with only like 5 seconds left, and he won that round until in boxing range he throws a knee. As you're throwing a knee, you're on one foot. He gets hit with the hook. He gets dropped. If he didn't throw that knee there and just did nothing for 5 seconds, he would have won that fight. Brandon Royval does not care about being a champion. He doesn't care about winning fights. He just cares about putting on performances to win performance of the night or fight of the night. And that's all he does. Like in this, if this was a 5 round fight, I'd be like, yes, Brandon Royval's gonna go, put on the pace, it's gonna drown Kavanagh. But I don't know. I don't know if I could say that. So honestly, my pick is Loner, but my pick is Loner, but I'm probably gonna bet on Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is also someone that you could really knock out, just because he doesn't have power himself, and he fights very long with his chin up. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets knocked out. But I can't bet on Loner. My pick is Loner, but I'm gonna probably bet on Royval because the experience, the length, the cardio, the drowning, winning me around maybe. You know what I'm saying? So my bet is Royval. My pick is Kavanagh. I might even switch it. I might even switch my pick to Royval. I'll post it on Twitter later on Saturday. But I don't think Loner's that good. I really don't. I think Cape would knock out Loner. I think Cape would knock out Joshua Van. You gotta have some sort of attributes. He doesn't. Joshua Van doesn't either. He's just been fighting a bunch of cans. Let's be honest here. But yeah, King Green versus Terrence McKinney. I think Terrence McKinney wins. I think people forget just because King Green is on a 4 fight win streak. People forget that King Green is actually notoriously chinny. Don't get me wrong, McKinney is also a little chinny, but McKinney hits like a truck, right? And if McKinney gets knocked out early, it's his own demise. Like he's gonna overextend on something and then get clipped. But realistically, I think McKinney should get an early knockout. Like he's gonna go in there, he's gonna blitz him, and he should get a knockout easily. Honestly think that's what he's gonna do. It's probably gonna be a round one knockout. I don't know if I'm gonna take it, but my pick and bet is Terrence McKinney round one. Robert Whitaker versus Nikita Krylov. I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight because you have a 170er who went to 185, who's now going to 205, fighting Nikita Krylov, who also isn't as good as he once was. I'm not even going to break down this fight. I honestly don't care. Gable Stevenson, I also don't care. Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez. Just watch Cody Garbrandt's last fight. Like, all he did was run away. He had 3 rounds. He ran away. He ran away. And he ran away. He's not there to fight. He's just there to make quick money. It's honestly embarrassing because I grew up watching Cody Garbrandt when I was when I was a teenager, when he was, fighting for the belt and everything. Now he's just running away from the Chinese guy. Adrian Yana should win. With the way Cody Garbrandt is running away, it should be a decision. Like at first, I was like, "Oh my God, Adrian Yanis is probably gonna knock him out." But then I rewatched the fights and I'm like, "Holy crap, this guy just doesn't stop running away." So Yanis should win, probably by decision. I think that's plus money. I think knockout's probably a favorite, so that's probably the play there. But Yanis should win, but minus 400, hell no. Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka III. Listen, Luke Riley isn't that good. He's really not. Put him against any decent wrestler, he's gonna lose. He can't get back up. He doesn't have good jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have good wrestling. He doesn't have good game IQ, fight IQ. He has power, but I mean, when you sit down on every single shot, you're gonna have power. Like if you're gonna sit down and overcommit on a right hand and it lands, of course it's gonna fucking be powerful. But Luke Riley isn't gonna get far. Like he's not a tricky customer. He doesn't set anything up. He's not fast. He doesn't use head movement. He doesn't like set traps or anything. He just throws and he punches a little hard. That's all he is. Against Kai Kamaka, I had Kai Kamaka in his last fight and he had me sweating against Dakota Hope. I think Luke Riley wins an easy decision. I hope it's a decision. Um, I won't be surprised if he does get the knockout, but if I had to bet, it'd probably be decision. So Luke Riley by decision. It's gonna be a striking match. Kai Kamaka, he's not that good. Like the fact that he had trouble with Hope, like the fact that he let Hope just walk him down and throw those shots in round one was crazy to me. It was crazy to me, and he barely won that fight. It was a split. I mean, he won that fight, but it was close rounds. I think he lost round one, won two and three, but those were close rounds as well. So Kai Kamaka, he is not UFC level at all. But Luke Riley is my pick. Now, Tracy Cortez versus Wang Kong. I want to make it known. I have bet on Wang Kong on every single fight of hers in the UFC, except for that one loss against Fernandez. Outside of that one loss to Fernandez, I've bet on Wang Kong on every single one of her fights. Every single one of her fights. And she's won every single one of her fights. And I love Wang Kong. I honestly think she could be a future champion because of how clean her striking is. But we're at a crossroads here, right? Because I even had Wang Kong against Mora, and I'm like, oh, Mora's a wrestler, she's a grappler, but Wang Kong should still win this fight. Man, was that fight close? Like the fact that she had Mora hurt bad in round one and didn't get the finish was crazy. The fact that trips, Mora used the most basic trips and took down Wang Kong. Not only took down Wang Kong, but held her down. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people train wrestling defense. They train takedown defense. They train get-ups off of wrestling, off of single legs and double legs and whatever. A lot of people don't train trips. Everyone trains wrestling. Not everyone trains trips. And when you're wrestling someone and you can't take them down, you resort to your trips and it works. For example, Mora, the 2-3 times that she took down Wang Kong, it wasn't wrestling. I think one was wrestling, but the other 2 times it was off of trips. It catches Wang Kong off because you don't usually train those, and she held her down. Now against Tracy Cortez, I was rewatching her fights. She doesn't use trips as often as she should. I don't know if she knows how to, but she did it once or twice. But that's my problem here because Wang Kong is strictly a kickboxer who's learning MMA. So she's learning wrestling, she's learning takedown defense, she's learning jiu-jitsu and all that. But man, Mora took her down and held her multiple times. She gave up her not only did she give up her back, but she gave up her neck to Mora. And I can't believe she didn't get finished because that was a rear naked choke locked in fully. And she gave it up and the clock ran out regardless, but and then the fact that in round 3 when Mora gassed out, she decided to wrestle her and try to submit her instead of getting up and knocking her ass out. Wang Kong doesn't make good decisions. Listen, I'll tell you this. If you think Tracy Cortez could take down and hold Wang Kong, you take her. If you think Wang Kong could defend the takedowns, you take her because Tracy Cortez, I think she's been dropped 2 or 3 times, which I don't like because Wang Kong is the best striker and the hardest hitter person woman that she's fought ever. And if Wang Kong lands cleanly, I wouldn't be surprised if she wobbles Cortez, drops her, or even finishes her. And Cortez knows that, right? She was hurt against Rose, which was crazy to me. And if realistically, like if Tracy can't take down Wang Kong, she's finished. She's gonna lose this fight. Now, I, I'm a little stuck on this fight because I don't know if that like I don't think the takedowns are gonna work. I don't think Tracy could just use the traditional takedowns to take down Wang Kong. I think if she's gonna take down Wang Kong, it's gonna be trips, like trips and judo, right? If she uses trips, if she uses judo, she'd be able to take down Wang Kong. And if you look at Tracy Cortez's scrambles and control, she has some decent top control, right? Like she could really hold you down. So I hope Wang Kong wins, but I'm gonna have to pick Tracy Cortez. Like in a wrestler versus striker, especially a striker who hasn't been practicing wrestling for too long. I think it's only been like 2-3 years. I'm gonna always pick the wrestler with decent top control, right? So I want Wang Kong to win, but I think Tracy Cortez is gonna just lay and pray on her. So Tracy Cortez by lay and pray, fuck her. Damian Pinas versus Cesar Almeida. This is a very simple fight to break down. I cannot lay minus 250 on Damian Pinas. I can't. Like, sure he's very athletic. Sure he's very strong. But at the end of the day, he only if he doesn't lose this fight, he's gonna lose one of his he's gonna lose a fight before he even becomes ranked. He's gonna lose an unranked fight because Damian Pinas, he's very strong. He hits hard, but all he has is a 1-2, right? Pinas, even at the ripe age of 24, 25, he only has a 1-2. That's literally it. Every single fight, whether it's in the UFC, Dana White Contender Series, or on the regional scene, all he does is spam 1-2s. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 2, hook, 2. That's all he does, right? And I know Cesar Almeida is 38 years old, but if Cesar Almeida just takes time and watches tape, oh shit, this kid only has a 1-2. All right, I'm gonna just kick round one. I'm just gonna kick the shit out of his arms, make him tired because we've never seen Pinas in round 2. I'm gonna kick the shit out of his arms, piss him off. Round 2 starts, then I'm gonna start striking with him, and I'm just gonna avoid the right hand, just like Torres versus Fiziev. Like it was like I thought Fiziev was gonna win, but bro, you're such a good striker. All you have to do is avoid one punch, and that's it. And then homie's gonna gas out, and that's what happened. Here, same thing. Caesar, please watch some tape. Please, you could literally win this fight. Your win bonus, your show bonus, you could get a finish of the night bonus here. Because what if Pinas gasses out? He's young. We always see these young strikers who have one punch power gas out if they don't get the one punch knockout. All Caesar has to do is survive round 1. Move, kick, jab, kick, move, run around, take him down, hold him, wrestle him. Round 2 starts, start throwing, right? I think, listen, all I'm saying is I cannot, as a betting man, I cannot lay mine. I don't care if Damian Pinas wins I don't care if he wins with this first punch that he lands. I cannot lay minus 250 on him. I don't trust him. Give me Cesar Almeida. Farid Basra versus John Garza. I did tape on John Garza. He's good. He has very tight boxing, right? Farid Basra, he's a very good minutes winner. He has good wrestling, but he doesn't have any control. He has no power, decent jab. John Garza, he's very young, so we don't know how his cardio is going to look. He's very young, and we haven't really seen his wrestling. I don't know how John Garza's wrestling is. I really don't. But one thing about John Garza is he has very tight striking. When he strikes, his hooks, his uppercuts, so fucking tight. And that's how he knocks people out. People overextend, and he just throws a sharp hook or a sharp uppercut, and it knocks him out. I honestly think Garza's the better striker, but I don't think it's gonna matter because Farid Basra fights like a pussy, and he's just gonna jab, low kick, take down, hold you against the wall. You get back up, take you down again. If I knew John Garza's wrestling was good enough, and if I knew that John Garza has a good gas tank, I would take him here. He has power. He has nice tight hooks and stuff. But fuck, a step up like Farid Basra. I know Farid Basra is like 16-0 or whatever he is, but he's not that good. He just hasn't been exposed yet. Like Farid Basra is 15-0. He's 15-0 with 1 knockout and 6 submissions. His last submission was 3 years ago. Who has he been fighting? Jean Matsumoto, who's garbage. Chris Gutierrez, who's garbage, Victor Hugo, who's garbage, Taylor Lapulus, who's garbage. Like, Farid Bashara is going to get fraud checked. It's probably not here. So again, my pick is Farid Bashara, but I'm probably going to bet John Garza as a huge underdog. Farid's going to win. I'm hoping Garza pulls something out of his ass and wins because I don't like the Bashara brothers. I really think they're trash. The pick is Bashara, sadly. All he has to do is jab, run around, take him down. He gets back up, take him down again. Basically what Bashara does every single fight. Sadly, I hope he loses, though. I'm going to sprinkle on John Garza. I might even take his spread, depending on what Farid Bashara by decision is, or his -3.5 is, but we'll have to see when it comes. Now, Ryan Gondra versus Zachary Reese. Zachary Reese is a very favorite underdog this week, to the point where he's about to flip as the favorite, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. Well, I do know why, actually. So, Ryan Gondra, we don't know if Ryan Gondra has cardio, right? Because the way Ryan Gondra fights, you would assume that if he doesn't get a quick round 1 knockout, he's probably going to gas out in round 2 and 3. Because that's how he fights. If you look at all of his fights, round 1 finishes. He goes crazy. All of his fights outside of 2 are round 1 finishes, right? Because if you back up, or if you put up a double guard, he's just gonna start swinging, and he hits hard and he hits fast, and he has no defense. You could literally clip Ryan Gondra as he's swinging at you and knock his ass out. But I don't think Zachary would do that. Zachary, when you pressure Zachary Reese, he's gonna put his guard up, right? When you put your guard up, that's when Gondra really starts letting it go. Zachary Reese fights to his opponent. If you wrestle him, he's going to wrestle you. If you strike him, he's going to strike you. And we've seen Gondra wrestle on the regional scene. He has decent wrestling. And honestly, Zachary Reese is dog shit. Who has he been fighting? Jose Medina. Sorry, I know Ryan Gondra fought Jose Medina, but Ryan Gondra finished him in 40 seconds compared to Zachary Reese, who went to a decision with him. Let's see who Zachary Reese has been fighting. Cody Brundrich, Julian Marquez, Jose Medina, Dusko Todorovic, Cedric Dumas, Jackson McVeigh. Listen, I think Ryan Gondra gets the round 1 knockout. I think he wins round 1 for sure. If it goes to round 2 or 3, I don't know if his cardio is going to last. So it's risky. But I'm going to be betting on Ryan Gondra, right? So my pick is Ryan Gondra, my bet is Ryan Gondra. But if it goes to round 2 and 3, I'll probably just hedge, right? Hedge it to it. Because if Ryan Gondra wins round 1, it's going to be so one-sided where he's going to become a huge favorite. And then you could hedge your bet with Reese and also actually make even more money if Reese wins, because he's going to be such a huge underdog. You understand what I'm saying? Anyways, Alejandro Costa versus Cody Durden. This is going to take so fucking long. But Costa should win by finish.